My name's Michael Kleinschmidt. I moved to Boston about 15 years ago, and I'm director of music here at Trinity Church and have been here in that role for about 4.5 years. Yeah, I started piano when I was 5. It was just something that my parents expected my sister and me to do. We just, along with learning to play baseball, we had to learn how to play the piano. My family got this used electronic organ that landed in our living room one day. I think my father finagled it out of a nursing home chapel that was closing or something. And so we got it for nothing, which was about all we could afford at the time. And it had 3 keyboards and a full pedal board. So I had everything I needed to start playing. When I could reach the pedals, I was tall enough to do that, then I started taking organ lessons from our local church organist. Well, having grown up a preacher's kid, I heard the organ every week and was mesmerized by it. The part of growing up in the Lutheran tradition is that everyone learns to do music, whether they're going to be professional at it or not. And but at some point, I'd say around the time I was 11 or 12, I got bit by the bug to become an organist, and it's just never let me go. There are as many controls on the organ here as there are on in the cockpit of a 747, and you really have to be paying attention to many different things. And what's funny about that for me is that I don't consider myself a good multitasker. I mentally can only focus on one thing at once, but physically somehow I'm able to do a lot of fine motor skills all at once, even though my mind is focused on one thing. I don't know how it works, but it just seems to work for me. It has about 7,000 pipes, and it's really 2 organs that are playable from one console. So it's unusually complicated, and there are so many little mechanical pieces and electric pieces and digital pieces that can break down. You don't have to see to play the organ. You really can do an awful lot of it by feel, and your body just sort of learns to memorize where things are. It's sort of like driving. You know where the gas pedal is and where the brake pedal is without even looking. I guess my favorite composers for the organ are Bach and Messiaen. Those 2 composers wrote more for the organ than any other major composers who also wrote for, instruments other than the organ, choruses, singers, the stage. Both those composers have a mystical insight, or an insight into things mystical, that can only be sounded out or described through music. Talking about it is hopeless. It's not a debilitating nervousness. It's actually very useful. It's a kind of an adrenaline rush that makes you extra focused and extra attentive to everything you're doing. And when I'm done, even after a little half-hour concert like today, it takes me a long time to come down from it, that for all the adrenaline to sort of just get washed out of the blood, and I have to drink a lot of water. And I suppose it's still like an athletic event. Your body is just put through things, and your mind put through things that daily life doesn't necessarily require.